Greetings DMC students. Today in this video we're going to go through the F1 feedback. This is the video version, but in order to just access the text version, please go to modules, scroll all the way down to the very bottom, and you'll find DMC2 F1 feedback there. So the aim of this video is to take you through the feedback of the F1. This serves two purposes. If you want to do the supplementary event, this is obviously going to help you to improve upon your answers. But also, as you know, the S1 is a development of the F1. So in order to do well in the S1, you really have to know exactly where you went wrong with your questions in the F1, so that you can make sure that you improve upon them when it comes to this assessment. Just to note, this feedback session is only on section A of the assignment, so only on the written section, not on the MCQ section. Alright, so this first comment is on question 1, but it's also just kind of a comment for all assignments that you do. Always make your connections very clear. Do not assume that your reader knows what you do, knows what you know. So one of the things to get around this is to use full sentences for every single question that you answer. So instead of just giving your business name, say, my business is called. It is a good name because. Answer in full sentences each and every single time. So for this question 1, it wasn't really good enough to just say my business is called Julia's Camera Shop because Julia is my name and I sell cameras. In second year, we always require you to think deeper. To get full marks here, you needed to state your company name, give a sentence or two of what your company does, and then explain the connection between your company and the name that you chose for your company. I need to know what your company does in order to decide whether it's a good name. And remember here, it's important that you don't just say, this is Julia's marketing agency, because marketing agencies do many, many different kinds of things. You need to state exactly what your marketing agency specializes in, what it does. Question 2, go through each part of each question and answer it in full sentences. The further you get along in your studies, the more you'll find that every question is not basic and straightforward. It's not just one question. There are parts to it. So for example, question 2 asks you to describe what your business does, and then it lists 4 questions that you have to cover in order to get full marks. So describe what your business does. Then, do you sell an object or offer a service? 2, what is your company philosophy? 3, who is your target market? 4, why does your product appeal to them? So to get full marks for this question, you had to answer each question in full. And like I said above, do this in full sentences. So say, we sell a physical object, or we offer a service. Our company philosophy is, our target market is, our product appeals to our target market because. This helps just direct your answer and show your market exactly where you're going. Answer with exactly enough depth. Again, you're in second year, so your answers really can't be surface. We do know that you've done subjects like marketing that also cover topics like target markets, and your textbooks also cover these topics. So on pages 43 to 45, yeah, this is where your textbook covers target markets. So we do expect you to know what these mean, even though we haven't directly gone through them in depth in class. We expect you to be able to apply them. For example, you can't say that your target market is everyone, because your target market can never, ever be everyone. No product in the world appeals to everyone. For example, just something very, very small. If you say your target market is everyone, but you're a salon that operates in Joburg, your target market can't be everyone because it doesn't include people living in Iceland. So break it down at very least demographically. For question 3, same comment as for question 2, you had to answer all parts of the question. So this was about your logo. What do you want your logo to look like? Is part 1. Use 3 adjectives to describe it, part 2. And what feelings should it evoke when people look at it, part 3. You had to answer each part. If you just described what you wanted it to look like, or if you even went out of your way and designed a logo, you hadn't actually answered the question. So make sure you read the question and know exactly what it's asking of you. Question 4 asked you to analyze your competitors, and because this question relied on you researching your market that you were entering, you needed to show that you had analyzed it and could accurately identify your competitors, your realistic competitors. And because you needed to research this, you had to reference in this question. Okay, question 5 was your professional photo and bio. So here are a few comments on your professional photos. They should never ever be inappropriate. So think they should not show too much skin. And this goes for both men and women. It's just not professional. I need to see your face so that I can recognize you if we met in public. So if I saw your photo on your website, I would need to know what you looked like so that if we met up, I would know exactly who you were. So no dark glasses, no photos that are taken at too much of a distance, no looking away from the camera so only half of your face is visible. I need to be able to recognize you from that photo. You need to be the only person in this photo because then it's not clear who you are. Ideally, this should be a head and shoulders shot, and this really is the winning combination. Only your head and shoulders. You're not doing anything awkward with your hands. No one can see, so it doesn't matter. Obviously, it's got your head in there. With not too much of a busy background, all of those kinds of things add up. This photo needs to be of you, not of professional things, so it is a professional photograph of you, not of something like a laptop or anything like that. Ask yourself who is going to see this photo, and this is the important part. So I think a lot of professional photos were taken with your clients in mind, and that is a good thing to think about. But not only your clients are going to see these photos, investors are going to see this photo. And when investors look at that photo, do you think it's a photo that makes them want to do business with you, or that maybe scares them off just a little bit? You need to look like a professional to anyone, not like you are, for example, a good DJ or a good stylist. You need to look professional in this photo. Original photo here, so comment number 7. What original means is that you or a friend took it. It needs to be taken by you, or a friend took the photo of you. You cannot take this photo from the internet. Comment 8. This is a tricky one. You're not a model in this photo. You need to look professional. You need to look like you're good at your job, and you need to look approachable. Approachability is a big thing. People need to look at you and think, I can do business with that person. So don't look angry or confused. And if you lost marks here, make sure that you rewatch the briefing video for the F1 and do a little bit more research on how to take a professional photo. These will come in handy in the future. We all should have LinkedIn profiles, so a professional photo is going to be useful. Next is some comments on your bios. If you started at your own company, you are probably not the CEO. Founder and CEO are very, very different things. If you are unsure of the difference between a founder and a CEO, please research this. But a CEO requires a board. It requires a whole bunch of other things. You are probably just a founder if you started your own company. Use proper capitalization. So Boston Media House, as you can see here, the M and the H are small. It's also not Boston Media. Make sure that you call where you studied the proper thing. Boston Media House with a capital B, capital M, and a capital H. Check the actual title of your qualification. Many students put diploma in media. It's not a diploma in media. All right. Again, you needed to follow all of the instructions to get your marks here. So 1, who are you? 2, where you studied. 3, where you live and operate from. 4, why you are passionate about your business. 5, why you started this business. And 6, what kind of client you like working with. So if you answered every single aspect here, the main area that marks were lost was tone and in the confusion of first and third person. So to explain what this means, in terms of tone, there was a little bit of a mismatch between trying to sound professional and trying to sound approachable. So this kind of goes back to your professional pictures too. So it's always better to sound more professional than colloquial. Even if you have a music company or whatever and your clients are young people who use the same kind of language as you do, it's better to sound professional. Maybe your clients will appreciate this tone, but your investors or your collaborators won't. So always think about your investors. And in terms of the first and third person issue, you needed to pick one. So either one was fine, but you had to stick with it throughout. So first person is I, and third person is Julia. You know, you get those weird people who say, Julia is angry right now when they're talking about themselves. Don't be that guy. You don't want to be that guy. So many bios read something like, Julia is a second-year media student who is passionate about photography. I studied at Boston Media House and live and operate in Durban. She realized her passion. You can see here that it sounds like I'm talking about two different people. So make sure that you do proofread your work and get a friend or family member to help you read through it. It really makes a difference because you get stuck into something and you can't really see the problems there. Okay, question number 6. So this was your Instagram post. This was only marked if the picture and caption were in the assessment. Nowhere in the assessment was anything mentioned about posting to social media, so no social media links were accepted. The comments on your original picture are as follows, and this definitely applies for your S1 too. Don't plagiarize a picture, take one yourself. It's possible for me to check this, so it's possible for you to do a Google image search and see if that picture came off the internet. And it's easy to take a picture. We're not so worried about the quality, but we are worried about the attention to detail, and I'll get to that in point number 3. Okay, so point number 2 is the picture had to be different from the picture taken in 5A of your bio picture. Technically, it is a different picture, yes, if you're standing in a different pose, but it's not really a different picture. You're missing the point. Success in digital marketing and life in general requires attention to detail, and sometimes you just have to take a little bit extra effort, and all of you are capable of taking 2 different photos on your camera phones and posting them either on social media or on your website for the S1. And point 3, this picture was marked based on the quality of the subject matter, not the quality of the picture based on the camera. But you did have to pay attention to the subject matter and the composition. We looked at effort. How much effort have you put into this? Or have you just taken a random picture of a random thing? If you were starting a salon and you just took a picture of hair that was pretty random and no effort was put into the composition, you would have lost marks here. So even with a bad camera, you can take a shot that's not blurry and well composed. And then in terms of the caption, you had to answer all of the elements in the question again. So 1, what does your company do? 2, when will you be opening and taking on clients? 3, a sentence that sets the tone for the way that you do your business. And it needed to be 4 to 6 sentences long. A common error here was answering this as if you were answering an assessment. And yes, this is an assessment, but we often test to see whether you can change your writing style according to where it will be published, in this case, Instagram. And many students, what you did was you wrote in separate paragraphs according to each individual question, rather than in a single paragraph that was designed to be posted on social media. And then in question 7, to get full marks, you had to discuss more than just the services available to you on social media. So you couldn't just say social media and that's it. You would need to list the services and then explain exactly how you would use it. So examples would include things like websites, blogs, SEO, SEM, PPC, email marketing, and mobile marketing with the accompanying application. Remember, now you are in second year, so we need to know that you can apply everything that you have learned. We're not only interested in the theory, we're interested in the application. And please make sure that you keep thinking about this when it comes to your S1. General comments to wrap up very quickly. Your spelling, collage is art, college is where you're studying now. Next, try to start putting yourself in a professional mindset. Writing with proper grammar, spelling, punctuation, and tone really can differentiate you from your competition. Yes, some people won't notice, but some will. And in many cases, the people that notice are the important people. They're the people that are offering you jobs or financial backing, that kind of thing. Please get in touch with us if you need help. You know that this stands. If you want us to check drafts, you know how to get a hold of us. And finally, this assignment was actually done pretty well, but most of you could have brought up your marks at least 10% if you paid better attention to detail and paid attention to the mark allocation. So yeah, well done, guys. Please get in touch if you have any questions, and good luck for your S1.